Now the next thing I want to do, I'm going to use my floor camera. Let's close this 3D view down. And let's take a view inside of the room. So I'm just going to grab the camera, point and click inside the room. And you're going to see a ceiling structure in here. And with ceilings, they're automatically created when you have a room. The default to flat ceiling. You can do a vault, you can do a coffer, tray, variety of styles. And what I want to do in this room here is let's select the room just by clicking on it, and highlight it, and then double click will actually open it up. And I'm going to give it a name of a living room. Come down here and find living. Again, I think we talked about this dialog a while back. If you want to change the ceiling height or create a vaulted ceiling, this is where I might do that, or a cathedral ceiling. And on the Moldings tab, I want to add a crown molding. So I'm going to remove the default, and let's come in here and choose Add New. And I'm going to browse into the library of moldings, crown moldings. Now, just like the baluster that I mentioned, if you have a manufacturer millwork company, we have a few in our program, but you can grab any one of these profiles and import them as I mentioned earlier on the baluster, a DXF file or DWG, or you can draw your own. So I'm going to find a profile that I like, and once I've got that, I'll choose OK. And I'm going to set the dimensions of that. Let's go ahead and make a little bit larger crown. And we'll just use a couple of round numbers here. Maybe make it a little bit wider crown. And I'm going to lower that maybe just a little bit. Before we do that, I'm going to reset that back up. I was planning on adding a soffit, but we'll do that in the next step. I'm going to reset that back to the default and choose OK. And now we should have a crown molding in the room. Again, use the material eyedropper off of the casing and apply it onto the molding. Now the next step I want to do is I want to come into this room and add the soffit. So let's close the 3D view. And I'm going to come in here with my soffit tool. And typically when you place a soffit, it's going to snap onto the ceiling. And we'll pull that soffit over. And temporarily, I have a small wall underneath these stairs. I'm going to turn that layer off. So go down here and find the stairs and go ahead and remove that for just a time being. So there's that inner wall. And so I'm going to go ahead and place my soffit against that, and we'll just pull that down. Now, the soffit that I placed, if I double click on it, is only, it's just under 6 inches in height, so it's not very big. It's not going to interfere with that door. And let's place one more soffit over here, and then we'll just snap that over. And I'm going to use my copy, reflect about the center of that room, and pull that soffit over. And then one more soffit, perhaps, in the center. And we'll stretch that across. And I'm going to make this one a little bit thinner. Let's go ahead and pull that. Let's double click on it and set the dimension. We'll just set it to be, let's make it 16 inches even. Center tool, center it in the room, and let's do, we'll do one more soffit in here again. Let's make that 16 inches. 16. Center tool, and we'll snap it to the other one, and then I'm going to use my copy tool down here in the menu, reflect about the center of that soffit, and flip it in there. So I've pretty much created a coffer looking ceiling that you can see in this 2D view. And let's take a look with the camera what the room looks like with the soffit. So one of the things you're going to notice is you see that crown molding? We added it in the room. what it has done is it has adapted and gone around that soffit and gone inside of the coffered area. And if I wanted to come in and lower a crown, I could do that, but it might be a little tight with this room with the doorway. I've spent a bit more time on that room offline, and I used our advanced ray trace rendering. Chosen a few different colors, maybe a little bit smaller door, and you can kind of see what it looks like. So I'll get into a little bit more of that here later in the video, but I wanted to show you what the room might look like fully accessorized.